So, all right, DJ, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. You said that you don't like Asami Kana, you just tend to like Asami Kana's character. So, what do you think about Alba? Be honest here.
I haven't actually read it yet, but she looks great.
I'm see the thing about the Alba to me that makes this just like so funny is that we're just like, oh, we took Lyria to a cabaret club. We just took her to a hostess club, and it's like,
Hey, there's nothing wrong with cabaret clubs. Goro Majima approves.
yeah. You see, the thing is, when you do something that Goro Majima approves of, is that a good thing morally? It's a cool thing, but cool and moral are
Hey,
two.
Yuki was a good girl. Anyways,
How you doing, buddy? How was the week? How was the week that I was gone?
nothing changed. I worked a lot,
Oh yeah, and I also hopped on Discord to talk every once in a while too.
and we still did radio on Thursday.
It was a short one, and then like
And
hours
then
later.
this happened.
All right, let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome to Granblue Radio. This is an extra episode we're putting in the middle of a week that because too much has happened this week, and we need to make sure that we're respectful to our own time because a whole lot has happened in the last 3 days of Granblue Fantasy, and so we're just gonna run through some of it so that we don't have to. Well, we don't feel obligated to run through all of it at once.
Yeah, well, Thursday's still gonna be a bulk of everything, but still.
Yeah, we're doing a release valve episode because so among other things they did the now traditional mid um, August release of new characters because of how they do swims. You know, this is the only time of year that they will release a character not during rate up. So it's not 6% SSRs for premium. It's not 6% for Flash. It's just summer, and so yeah, they've done it for what 3 years running now? Because like Kolulu, Summer Albert came out during this period. Anyway,
I thought Kolulu came out before because she was part of the event.
oh, that's right. It was Summer Albert
Toma
though.
Bear was part of the second event,
Mhm.
which more lines up.
Right, but yeah, they.
And
Let
also
me
sheep.
make sure. What was that?
It was also sheep too, wasn't it? In that same time frame.
Let me go look again because I'm going to convince myself of all sorts of wrong things if I don't look this up. All right, but anyway, so this time around we have two characters who are not related to the event, but hold on, I went to the wrong page here. But I want them.
I see.
Well, I got one of them thanks to free
What,
rolls, but I didn't get.
what,
Of
which one did you get?
course, I got Zahlhamelina.
Oh, I got the other one.
It was SR Fairy. Let's see here. Hold on. You got Tabina? Amazing. Well done. All right, so hold on. Let me
Yeah.
take a look at who released on uh, a midweek of August. It was Albert and Fairy. Oh, and it was also the Kaguya summon for 2020. 2019, the off-banner character release was Yukata Anthuria and Cassius. So those are like the only off of Gala character releases each year is like this time frame.
And well, we're now at 3 years in a row. So
Yeah. So this is a pattern. This is why Henry remembered to remind everybody. It's like hold your roll until mid summer stream because this is when they will usually release a new character on us. And it was right. So well done, Henry.
who was it that tweeted out? Oh, the banner changed during the summer stream. Was
It
it
might
Kawahara?
have been me.
No, I
So
meant one. I thought I meant one to say you.
oh, I think it was Kawahara. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, the banner changed. Like, what often happens, especially for summer and for the Granblue Fest stream, is that they just go backstage during an intermission, and each of them just uses their role and they compare and they like commiserate.
It's always a fun one.
That is a fun one. All right, so DJ, which character would you like to cover first?
The character that you got.
All right. So here's Zahlhamelina, Harayumi. Um, she hasn't.
One, I'm surprised that they remembered this character existed.
I too was surprised at this character being remembered because she has been like contentless for how long?
She came out in 2016.
So it's been 5 years, and she's only appeared in Granblues basically since.
Yeah.
All right. So where do you want to start when we talk about what she does?
She has very long cooldowns. Why is that?
So one of these cooldowns kind of makes sense because it's an 8-turn field, right? So it's the Alanon field, isn't it?
It has one extra thing that Ellen on field doesn't have, and it's really minor in all retrospects.
Which is.
So the field gives 20% unique modifier,
Mhm.
25% defense down,
Mhm.
ability to crit regardless of element, and then a 10% chance of 50% crit.
10% chance?
According to the wiki, yes.
A
Also,
10%.
actually, Alanon's is on perpetuity modifier apparently. So
Hmm. And then let me go take a look at my version of this character because I just realized that I'm looking at the unbuffed version. So I think isn't it still 8 out of 12 just like
it's 8 out of 12.
Alanon as well? Okay.
Yeah, her two 14 turn cooldowns go to 12.
Mhm. And yeah, Alanon's 8 out of 12 and his Renatian Creed is 4 out of 12. Let's see what how long Catacnia lasts. It lasts 3 turns.
To be
So,
fair, Nation Creed is a very offensive skill.
mhm.
But okay, we're gonna talk about the skill one because I think it's really her worst part of her kit.
Okay. So, let's take a look at this, shall we? So, how big is the shield, DJ?
5K, you get that in Zeus.
Okay. How big is let's see. The mirror image is just one time. How good is the armored?
100% for 50%.
That's very good. That's a very good. That's a very good armored effect right there. But it's 3 out of 12.
3 turns. Yes,
Um.
it's gonna be on downtime most of the time.
So I'm going to compare it to our friend the Draco Harp. Let's go take a look at the Draco Harp here because that one also provides mirror image and sustain and um. Does it provide armored also? Let's see. Draconic Harp. So this thing is mirror image, and it heals you for about, let's see here, it heals you for 4,500. So those parts are pretty much similar, except that this happens every time. And yeah,
So there are better sources of armored, by the way, technically in light.
which ones are you thinking of?
One of them's Lily, and hers is 3 for 8.
Oh yeah, that's another character to compare this to, huh? So let's go take a
I
look
mean, she
at.
gives you a 2,000 shield. That's whatever. The shield's whatever at this point.
Yeah,
We do
let's go
not.
look.
If we're talking about light, we don't compare the shields because
That's fair.
everything fails in compared to Zeus.
Well, some of us don't have Zeus, so you know. But yeah, Lily's is on an 8-turn cooldown. How good is the armored on Lily? Do
Fifty
you
percent.
50% chance of going to 50% or
No, 100% chance of 50%,
oh, so it's the same. Hmm.
but shorter cooldown.
Hmm.
Also, that same button also gives mirror image if you're already getting the armored.
I see. I mean, it does require you to change your party around, but still,
It's not a hard requirement,
yeah, it's not.
especially if you're doing a Lucy team.
Hmm. All right, well,
And so here's another, by the way, another character that can give you a almost as good enough shield.
uh-huh.
Not as great, but there's a upside to this.
Who is it? Delafi?
Yeah, it's Dalifi.
Is it still the case where as long as you have the shield, you have chaser, or no?
Well, no, I'm not talking about that part.
Oh, okay.
I was talking about the armored actually.
Oh yeah.
On CA, she gets armored 70% for 30%, but
It's
that's
still
free armored.
it's also like effectively no cooldown because it just depends on how quickly that your meter fills up. And guess what? Delaphi fills up your meter really fast.
She knows her own meter really fast too. She's a pretty good character. Anyways,
So all right, so bad button Catacnia. Okay, we'll move on. So all of the this skill, pretty bad version of what other characters have. Uh, eliminate the field of sunlight. Actually, pretty good because Alan, so you can bring light to pretty much any raid and crit now if you want. For 8 turns out of the 12, and a lot of the stuff that you want to press her with, you can just it's just like Alanon, right? You're not in for a long time. You're just in for a good time.
I'm not here to stay here that long, but I'm
Yeah,
gonna have a good time. I'm gonna party,
yeah.
especially with skill 3.
So let's talk about party time, skill 3, like the actual
100
reason.
100% chance of 20% crit is not the same type of crit as uh Toyen.
Okay,
I forget who this one stacks with though, on top of my head. But also, it gets 15% damage cap up, and 20% chaser.
so essentially it's another build your own Alanon effect. And yeah, also she has the Christmas Saruel passive of debuff immunity at the start of fight, even if you're sub. And then it's 10% dark damage reduction, because I think Saruel's is lower than that. Let's see. I don't have Christmas Saruel, so I keep having to refer back to the numbers on it. It
I'm checking
is.
right now.
Oh, it's based on crests, so it starts at 0 until you have a crest and goes up to 20%. So instead, it's a flat 10%. It doesn't refer to crests, so
Yeah, this one's
call that
not
a
a crest
wash.
character.
Yeah. And here we go. So supplemental crit damage as a passive, aka Keen, but it stacks with things.
I mean, better. It's only 3k a cap.
Yeah. True has this, and people just don't remember that True has this.
Yeah, because yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it's also 3k cap. Jesus. For True. So then her CA is essentially just a version of her Fire CA, where it's 20% light attack, 20% dark cut. Um,
it's nice.
Jean has it.
Also, she doesn't have that on her CA in fire.
Oh, it's on
It's
her
under skill
button, isn't
3.
it? Yeah, okay.
That button is only has 1 turn downtime, so
hmm Anyway, the character has potential because of this whole 15% cap up nonsense, and I've seen people making good use of this, where they just there's a video of, for example, um, Tosayuki hops into Proto Bahamut with a light crit team and says, "I don't care what phase it is, between 90% and 50%, sure, whatever. I'm critting as if it's dark." And so there are things like that that'll be useful. You can just hop into any raid, and since it is not a debuff and it is a field, then yeah, I mean you don't need a debuff to land for this thing to work. Uh, Also of note, I'm still really sad to this day about Twilight Zone, DJ.
Twilight Zone sucks.
For some reason, for some reason, it still won't let you crit on light and dark. Why is that? Why is this? Please improve this button. I only played Lighthound. I played Nighthound in light. Now that's the
Let's
only
be
place.
honest. Let's be honest. The only reason you play Nighthawk nowadays is for time on target.
I play it for tactical reload, but yeah, I understand. Time on target is also a very good button, and yeah, it's there to
And, and
one
one turns
shot
a lot of
things.
things. Yeah.
But Twilight Zone's so bad. Why? Why can't it? Why can't we just let this thing crit in light and dark? Wind,
Light and dark are
fire,
broken.
water.
as we have the other broken elements, aka every element's broken. But
Yeah. Just let me put out the Twilight Zone side games, please. That's all I want.
oh, wait, no, we can't do that. Anyways,
So yeah, Zahlhamelina is a pretty good character. I will find ways to use her. Shall we move on?
I just want to laugh that her weapon has healing as a second skill.
Look, let's not talk about that one.
Oh, don't worry, because we need to talk about the next character's weapon. Let's go.
Oh, it's I so I and a couple of other people on Old Radiant's Discord we tried to form the summoning circle. I went to a restaurant in my town, Broadway Masala, and I bought butter chicken and naan, and I tried to hit the roll button right as the rollover hit, which is at 1 p.m. local time. I didn't get it, but I tried. And besides, looking at this just makes me hungry.
Yeah, yeah.
um, it is a thing in one of the Granblue Fantasy art books that just came out, where they just list off weapons and the like the designs for new weapons that came out that year, and it's just like you just you just get the absolute like this is Granblue Fantasy experience off of that because it's just like let me get this right. It's like harp. Guess what is a harp? That's right. This plushie of a dragon.
Yeah.
Definitely a harp. You know what else is a harp? This picnic basket. And then
Yeah, you just throw the picnic basket. Don't worry about it.
that same page, the page before that is just like melee weapons, and one of them is like hand puppets, which I guess makes sense. They're at least still hands, but it's like non and and curry. That's a melee weapon. Also a melee weapon, a wine glass and a wine bottle.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We're adding this to our quiz.
When you make that quiz, it's got to be so hard.
Oh, this quiz is gonna be a lot of things. Easy is not well. There'll be easy questions.
There'll be
Have to
ones that
throw, there has to be bones somewhere.
right. All right. So anyway, this weapon is 4-starable, and it's really interesting as a 4-star weapon. So
Hey, didn't we see bloodshed before in somewhere else?
yes, it's the Black Dragon's Maw. This is actually Siegfried, Fire Siegfried's weapon, but as a melee weapon in Dark. So
Yeah, I might switch over my Opus thing over
and go
to
back to
Enmity.
Enmity,
Yeah,
because yeah, just knock off 20% of your health at the start of the fight. It stacks up to twice to go to take 40% off, and you're now at 60%, and your Enmity is pretty active.
and you
Uh,
also have 2 attack modifiers at that.
hmm It has might and enmity and attack. So yeah, pretty good weapon here.
Yeah, especially
And,
since my grid's already filled with 2 of the Fedial spines.
hmm Well, yeah, that Federal Spines are stamina, aren't they?
Yeah, but they also don't have a normal attack modifier.
Yeah, that's fair. So that makes up for a lot of it. All right,
I'm not getting rid of those because those things give supplemental to CA.
yeah, that's fair. So let's talk about Tabina, the character that you got and I didn't.
This character's ridiculous, dude.
I'm super envious. I want this for multiple reasons.
I mean, you asked her a question at Crunchyroll Expo that one year. I remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I was going to have. I knew that she was coming out within hours of the panel that Hondo Kaede was at, and unfortunately, I could not have her roll for me because she didn't come out in time for the autograph line. Oh well.
True.
All right, so let's talk about Tabina DJ. So
Did you know that in the campaign quest you could pretty much quick auto with not full auto, by the way.
it's just
Do
semi-auto,
the
right?
only yeah the semi auto version with her.
With just her, or
Well, you have to have other characters attacking,
yeah,
but
Dark has had an easy time of that for quite a while. Because of characters that are guaranteed to triple attack with like Predator, Wolf, and Rennie. And so you can do the semi-auto version that way. So she's in that. She's in that team.
it's because of one of her effects that we're going to talk about soon.
I see. Wait. So, how many of her skills auto activate, DJ? Because this is just like,
Only one, because the second one's a different thing.
okay, okay. So, where do you want to start talking about this character? Because you've been doing the testing on her.
All right, so let's talk about the thing that she shares with her other version, her second skill.
All right. So,
So it's zero tone cooldown, cost your arrows. The only thing costs arrows is this button, by the way,
okay.
and it'll do 10% attack defense down, stack roll to 40, and a random debuff.
Right, which is an
Uh,
amazing button on her fire version, by the way.
yeah, and the debuffs are as expected: poison, putrefy, DATA down local, charm
Hmm.
local, petrify local, blind local, accuracy down for 2 turns local, and paralyzed 1 to 2 turns local.
So, I'm curious. So, the way that she gets arrows back on her fire version are either time or pressing her skill 3. I'm
Correct.
only reading this. She only gets arrows back from skill 2 or skill 1
Yes, because that auto activates
when
FU
she
CA.
CAs. Yeah.
And note, it also grants you dodge all.
Great. She's there with Vicky and Six, and actually, those are the two ones who I can think of who just dodge all after CA. Sick.
Yeah. And here's the thing: you look at her skill 3,
Boost to debuff suck. Boost skill specs. Is it her skill specs or all of them? Everyone.
all dark allies gain this effect.
Oh. Hmm. And you gain supplemental damage, and it ends when you take damage 2 times. That's the rat buff. Hmm.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I want this character real bad, DJ. She's so cool.
yeah. So the numbers on her are on her nukes are really low, but
Uh,
that's fine.
I mean, the numbers on her nukes on her fire version are also well for the Almatar Tequil and this now Almaj Tequil. Um, I'm sorry by the way if I murdered those pronunciations, but anyway,
I, I mean, we're not any experts in this for this.
um, it's the same number, and the thing is that in fire with cap ups and things like that, it does respectable damage. In dark, we'll get to this because they released a weapon just now
Oh, we
that
don't even talk about that weapon. Her skill, the cap up is 50k on her, not cap
her
up. The
buff.
supplemental is 50k from her skill 3.
Hmm, that's a good one. And then, wow. So there's just so much going on. Where do we go next, DJ? Guide me.
So yeah, her another thing to note is Spice of Love, which
Okay.
also I don't know the numbers on the dodge, by the way,
Mhm.
on her dodge rate on debuffs, so
Mhm.
I need something else to look for that. But when she dodges, just fill everybody's meter by 10, and also do 80k 4 times, quote unquote 80k 4 times.
Okay. So what happens when Vicky dodges? When Vicky dodges, she um does a nuke and a dispel. When Anthuria dodges, because so let's see. When Tanya dodges, she slows. When Anthuria dodges, she let's see. What does she do when she dodges? Upon dodging, 20% heal and a clarity. So there's just there's just so much going on when you dodge in a dark team, DJ.
Yeah, you get a dodge tank. That's great.
She doesn't even, well, she doesn't tank, does she? She doesn't have any hostility up. She just happens to have
She
dodge
just
on her.
happens to dodge,
Hmm.
and that's pretty nice. Never, she'll probably not get hit.
Yeah, that's right. So flowering lily for Anthuria just gives your team uplifted. So similar but differently implemented. Got it.
Oh yeah, and so at the end of each turn, if you have at least one arrow stack, she will cast her skill 2.
Right. And so they made a version of her skill 2 that can be activated on quote unquote activated on full auto if you want. So she just keeps
Correct.
casting it. That's
Yeah, it's really
nice.
nice.
It's real
Yeah,
nice.
and so supplemental damage really loves this character. I
Uh,
tried rolling for supplemental earring. I did not get one yet.
yeah, there's a video on YouTube that it's a video series actually. It's one person who keeps farming Fediel for dark earrings and has spent hundreds of earrings trying to give 6 supplemental plus 10. It's
Yeah, it
uh
feels
it's
horrible.
it's an ongoing series. So, yeah. All right. So, let's recap. So, when she attacks, she will do a nuke at the end of the turn as long as she has
As,
an arrow.
as long as she has an arrow. The arrows are only used for this attack.
When she CAs, she will do a nuke that gives her her arrows back
Two of them.
and dodge all.
Correct.
When she dodges, your entire team gets meter, which feeds back into her getting arrows back,
And also dodging more.
which also keeps her skill 3 buff up longer. Because this thing is permanent until it gets knocked off. The Vicky version of this buff is 10 turns, but also gives you way more than what Tabina does. So let's be fair there.
I mean, Vicky is 50% charge gain up, 30% CA damage, 10% CA cap, 30% dodge.
Yeah, so it keeps itself up by having dodge up as well. Anyway, uh, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on. This is a one woman engine of synergy.
It's about the love, okay?
I love this character. Please come home. I want this so bad, DJ. Jesus,
I wish you the best of luck.
I'm down bad. This is all right.
Don't worry, she'll be on TV this coming week.
That's right. Okay. So that's Tabina and Zahlhamelina. Next up, so new story released while we were gone, and by while we were gone, I mean we only did radio 4 days ago.
Yeah, it came out right afterwards.
um, so I will take some time to mention that Granblue was brought up on the summer stream. Yay us!
Oh, you
Uh,
guys were? I didn't
yeah,
notice that
it's
part.
because of the story update. So they were talking about the story update, and Fukuhara mentioned that like we asked him in an interview if story was going to be one a year, and he said his answer was a little misinterpreted. He said that it's well that's the way it turned out. But from here on out, they're trying to do more story each year, which is one of those things that got really delayed by COVID.
Yeah, that part is kind of uncontrollable at this point.
But they can at least try and get things back to a point where they can work on more story content. And I liked the current story. I'll say that.
Yeah, I still need to get around to reading it. I skipped through it just so I can do the raid
So yeah,
because new weapons.
so let's go to the raid. So Animus Core, which I keep joking is just like Animorphs or Animaniacs. Just the number of times that I write Anim is just ridiculous for this. Anyway, so the fight itself is actually really fun.
So
Uh,
you did the solo and I did the solo. We had two different approaches to this.
my way to do this solo was to spam Ilsa, New Generations, and Fief, I think it was.
So mine was two of those characters are the same. My thief was replaced with Noah.
Yeah, Fief being replaced by Noah makes sense. But it's just
Because
got. Whoop, go ahead.
I did you did yours by staying healthy. I did mine by knocking myself to red, and then never taking more damage than the shield.
Did you do it with Doctor for the when
Nope.
somebody's red passive? No. Okay.
Nope.
I mean that's fair. It's
I,
it's a really interesting fight.
yeah,
Um,
we have two turns extra cooldown for on our buttons.
but you also gain more meter. It's 50% more meter.
Yeah, Cagliostro has a fun time with this part.
Cagliostro has a fun time with this. Like there's a lot of characters who just work better, and a lot of characters who work worse in that environment where your cooldowns are way longer. Like characters with really strong CA effects get better, of course. Characters who you assume their buffs are always up, their buffs suddenly aren't always up anymore.
That was Ilsa.
Yeah, well, she resets. Like that was the character I was using. She resets her cooldowns on CA. It's a really
Yeah.
strong CA effect, and yeah, it had the fight has the Echidna proud effect of you want characters who buff or heal each other, because just buffing yourself or having an auto buff, eventually your party will just kill itself
Yeah,
because
they'll start punching each other,
and they'll stop taking turns. Very importantly, they'll stop
which
taking
means you can't
turns.
make meter.
hmm And so like it's a really cool fight. I love this fight. Um, and then yeah, so let's talk about these weapons. So number one, the faceless. It's a
It's a
far-
fist with a face on it.
does it have a face on it?
There's lips.
Oh,
I'm looking at it right now. There's lips and a nose.
that's disgusting. I love it. So it's a farmable garrison weapon, and then describe to me what Ridge's Fortitude does, DJ, since you're
I
looking at
cannot
it and I'm not.
describe to you right now because the wiki does not have it.
I see. So what it actually does is it gives you supplemental earth damage based on how low your HP are, which I believe is the same as Wilness's finger, isn't it?
Correct.
So let's take a look at what Wilness's finger numbers are. Wilness's finger says it varies from 10k to 60k depending on your current HP, and it stacks up to 100k just like all of the other supplemental weapons. So,
Well, we don't know if that's the exact numbers for this though,
right,
considering that one's a totally different skill.
the numbers I'm sure are similar but not the same, and they probably have the same cap because they like to do that. But still, um, as someone who recently awakened to the power of Fiorito in the last Uniting fight, I'm just like, yes, another farmable fist. The problem is that it provides no damage. It's only survival until you are at low health.
I mean, Earth can bring us up to low health pretty easily.
It's true, especially with your Fiorito or Ire or all of these other like fist characters who just punch themselves in the face. Anyway, so this one's a fun one. I don't know if it's necessarily super strong, but I mean, Garrison is worth it when you're doing hard content. And this is a free source of Garrison, which, as the Dark Thrasher, um, Odin's what is it, Sleipnir's Shoe, and Indra's Bow crowd can tell you, is something that is unique and powerful. So
Well, those weapons also provide something else.
that's true. I wonder how this will. I wonder how this will shake out because I know that it's good for Fiorito, but I don't know if it's good for anybody else.
We'll see. Someone's gonna make a combo video.
Yep. Speaking of combo videos,
I'm sorry.
Agonize.
I keep thinking it's agony instead because of what's the Kotoko song?
Yeah, it's a good song.
Yeah.
But Agonize. I'm farming Animus, Animaniacs really hard because of this thing.
Do you know what the number is on the supplemental damage?
I personally do not. Let me see if anybody has that available. But in the meantime, so did you see what the CA on this thing does, DJ?
At 4-star, 100% chance to one turn cut your MC skill cooldowns. Yes.
So, yeah. Yeah, that's really good. Especially if
Hey,
you're
Robin Hood's a pretty good class.
Yeah, Robin Hood's a pretty good class, and hey, it has a skill that resets all of your other skills and then goes on a long cooldown, and so that can go on a shorter cooldown.
That
Hmm.
also gives you meter.
Yeah. Yeah. I like this cycle. It's good. So
There's always at least one of the weapons that are like, this is ridiculous.
hey, this deserves. I don't know if it deserves it. I like it. It and besides, yeah, this requires you to actively play like a lot in order to get use out of it instead of
Yeah,
just.
I can't buy it.
And also, you can't just throw it in your grid and just like expect it to do great things. Like it rewards you for actually building around it and with it in mind. So
Yeah,
according to
it's a
this,
small, it's a small attack. So
yeah,
yeah.
you have to keep that in mind. All right, so Purgatory Spectacle. I have the numbers up on Game with.
All
So
right.
It's a maximum of 100. It is supplemental skill damage.
Okay,
Maximum of 100k, just like the Ewiar's beak.
normal.
Um, and let's see here. Does it have the numbers on the actual skill supplement? It does not have the numbers on what it is per. So I don't know that part. But, you know, I've seen people who have already farmed 8 of these things. And I've seen people who use one of them, and both grids use it very well. Because just like Eviar's beak, you just find characters who do lots of instances of damage, like say Tabina
Okay, I was gonna
or,
say that.
or Vikala does a lot of instances of damage when she like.
Dawn Chaser. Wait, no, wait. This one's skill damage though.
Hmm. But she still does the with the chomper. Six does that whenever the enemy does a CA. Orchid has a multi-hit that she resets every time she CAs. Kolulu just plain nukes when she's at low health over and over again.
Also, she can refresh her skill 2 with her skill 3.
Hmm. So there's a lot. There's a lot of characters who can benefit from this, and then a lot of characters that are just getting another like moment in the spotlight from this. Yeah, Cassius just pressing the buttons.
And Cerulean is right. Dark didn't really have that many good main hand bows,
Yeah, I made Sherwood bow specifically for Dark Robin Hood, and now there's this.
which is pretty good.
It's really
Yeah.
good. I'm a big fan. Uh, da, da, da. All right, but yeah, I still enjoy this fight. Um, I'm doing 3 malices a day right now under the current current half off, and this is gonna get real expensive. So I'm hoping that Fernesis drops my last Dark Thrashers before the end of the campaign.
All right, so Dom,
What's up?
when do you think Dark is gonna get tempering?
Which one's tempering again? That's the
Summon
summon.
gold damage, damage seals and skill cap up.
Oh man, I don't know if Dark's ready for that. Is it? It's probably ready for that already.
Dom, with the last two elements we said didn't need it either.
Yeah, you're right. Earth didn't need it. Fire got cool with it. I enjoy that fire team a lot.
Light didn't need it because now Aglavale's a super monster.
Oh yeah, Aglavale.
I
All right.
just cast a billion spells.
Yeah. Phew. I am a big fan of what the new fight gave to us, and I'm a big fan of what the story gave to us too. Like the new characters are cool. I like them, and I'm not just saying that because of Elba. I swear. I, I'm I'm not saying that because of Alba. All right. She's just cool.
Yeah. Okay. What
All
else do
right.
we have to talk about?
Next up is uh so this is just going to be a brief thing. Um I don't know what you think about this. I was just going to bring this up. So this Rise of the Beasts is actually the least engaged I've been in Rise of the Beasts ever because all right. So, these are the things that they did to Rise of the Beasts. Number 1, they made it so that you don't need to go to 150 badges anymore. You need to go to 120 for most of them.
Woo.
Great change. That is 15 less fights that I care about that I never benefited from. Like I started this Rise of the Beast with 190,000 points because I couldn't spend them all in the last time. Um, then we have, let's see here, like every single one of these beasts I can now zero button. Did I show you just how ridiculous Poseidon is in this in particular? I have a
You could just end it with Poseidon is ridiculous. Period.
Yeah, you're right. Like I could have actually like a light MC if I wanted to, and just like I have Zahlhamelina leveling in the front here. Like this character actually just one shots Zhuque without any real help. I mean, I have Zeta there for her passive because it just adds another 2 million damage to his swings, but turns out he doesn't need them.
Yeah.
Um, and then yeah, because of Belial Chain, I can zero button the um, other three. It's just like, oh, here's my Earth team one-shotting Qinglong. Uh, and so this is the easiest it's ever been. Like they don't move the goalposts for Rise of the Beasts. Um,
I mean, I full out of all of the crowds, so
mhm. And so yeah, like less time spent on Rise of the Beasts. I'm with that. I like that part. Uh, then they changed the rewards. In some ways it's more rewarding, but in this one in particular, the four symbol stones, the way that the numbers worked out. So we used to get 3 per run. We should have had 15 by now, I think, if I remember the numbers right, which is enough to buy like a gold brick, a perpetuity ring, etc. This one fell right in between, and so even though we're getting four symbol stones, they didn't add a gold brick, they didn't add a perpetuity ring to the shop, and so we're just sort of earning these for next time.
maybe I don't know.
I like maybe they want us to buy these summons, which no one really wants. So
Well, the less I have to do this, the better.
yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm mashing the heck out of the campaign, so I'm not mad at them for that, but I am a little like curious what their long-term plan is with Rise of the Beasts, since this one, for dedicated players like us, is kind of an empty one. Like they improved a lot of the little rewards for people who um, don't uh, do this nearly as hard as anybody else, and they made it less of a grind. They gave us more of like little miscellany. But yeah, hmm. Just curious where
Oh,
this is gonna go.
that's something I wanted to bring up.
What's up?
There's a new Crossfade episode.
Show and Tabina, the bikers.
Yeah,
I don't have it yet because I don't have show.
I don't have a show either.
Curses. Yeah,
Uh,
Cerulean suggests. I think it's allowing us to save for the next restock.
and also, if you look at it, other than the Zodiacs, because we're gonna get the one for Crossfade for them every year.
Hmm.
Last year there was only one Crossfade.
Really? Huh.
It's Kololu and Colossus.
Come to think of it, I don't have that one either because I don't have Colossus yet.
So yeah, I mean, I can think of the main reason why that one slowed down.
Why is that? Just
COVID.
yeah, writing resources.
Yeah, it's okay. You don't need Colossus to talk.
Well, every crossfate has always used the generic lines anyway. It only
Oh yeah,
uses
that's
like
true.
the first couple of things there. Um, all right. So now that we've talked about the Rise of the Beast, like so the rest of the schedule for August is going to be something that we're looking at. That's going to sort of close out this episode of Granblue Radio. Um, so this month we're starting with Rise of the Beasts. Now that Auguste the Dead's done. Next week we have A Walk on the Wild Side coming back, which I'm a big fan of. Big fan.
Also, there's a skip button for us who actually watched it already.
Right. Um so Walk on the Wild Side has two skins in it now because it was the original way that we got Jean de Slack, which is the outfit that I'm still using to this day on her because I really like it. I'm a fan of it. Um and then we're going to be getting the B shop thing. So we've we very rarely brought this up. The defunct 2016 Granblue Fantasy trading card game. And one of the incentives that they added to that game to get people to buy packs was the B points shop, which let you buy outfits for characters. And then the problem was that it turned out that those outfits for characters only changed their
Artwork,
profile
right?
art. It didn't change their sprite. It didn't change their voice lines. And so people were like, this isn't worth it. And so they just sat in the B Point shop until until Cygames found another excuse to bring them back. So Lancelot had one, and that one is in side stories. It is just something that you buy for like an investment of about 5 minutes of your time. Cagliostro, I think, had one. Yeah, they've been finding ways to sneak them back in because they know that people just don't need this.
Look, 2017 was a wild year.
2016 really was a wild year. So after a walk on the wild side, we get Xeno Ifrit, and Xeno Ifrit is coming because we have Fire Favored Unite and Fight coming soon. And so,
AX skills, let's go.
yeah, I'm gonna get a CA up on Katana if I can, and then hit points up on the Xeno Ifrit axe, just like I did for the previous one. And
Yeah.
if I don't get it, oh well.
I totally forgot that Katana existed half the time.
Yep, yep. That is a fair cop. All right, and then after that we have a story event, and this story event has something that you're very interested in, DJ, because you were asking for this. Well, you've been asking for this for years, but you especially were mad at this thing existing when we got to Athena uncap, because it's like, why does Athena get an uncap when there's a bunch of characters who need it more? Like you named Eliza as one of them, but the character that so many of us have been just like sad looking at for years, and they've reworked her like twice, I think.
Something like that. One of them was to put her in line with her brother.
Yeah, where she quick raids automatically.
Yeah.
There it is. She just sometimes quick raids. There. It's every 3 turns she just does it. There's nothing much else here. So yeah, she's getting her 5-star at the end of the month, which also means that this is going to be a Hellas event, right? Still?
This also means that we're probably gonna get a rebalance of her character kit before that too.
Good. Good, she needs
Because
it.
last time it was Romeo who got that. Remember?
You remember how I said that there were characters that I hadn't played in the EMP era?
Hellas is one of them because that's me too.
I haven't played Hellas in the Ring era. Like, that's sad. This character's been that sad for that long.
Oh, let's see here. She came out 2015.
She was fine in 2015. She wasn't great, but she was fine.
Yeah, she was great when the gimmick was overdrive or break.
Hmm.
Hey, they changed how then they changed how certain other characters work that relied on that too.
Yeah, and those characters turned out to be way better.
Yeah, well,
Imagine that.
maybe they'll change her passive one.
To actually do something.
Yeah, and also her skill one.
To also actually do something.
And remember when Zeta was bad?
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago, and then she became amazing.
Yeah, they became great.
I don't know if I have the highest expectations, but I just want this character to get love. She deserves it. She's been waiting for this for 6 years.
Oh yeah, there was a time where I played Wind Hellas.
Wind Hellas is fun. It's just that she's overly reliant on overdrive as a mechanic.
Yeah, big damage and overdrive. Anything else?
Um, and then yeah, so I I hope that I hope that Hellas gets the best. She deserves it because she's a fun character who hasn't had any in-game justification for quite a while. It's like
No, she's good.
Noish's releases have been good. Let's see. Light Hellas is pretty sad now.
Serial is dropping a mixtape.
Cereal's yeah. Light Cereal is fine, and then Wind Cereal has a lot of cool things going for him. But yeah, yeah. So we will see what happens. I'm looking forward to that end of the month event. Um, and with that, so I was hoping this would take about 45 to 50 minutes because this is 45 to 50 minutes that we don't have to go over on Thursday, DJ.
Oh, there's one more thing that we can briefly talk about.
What's that?
Awakening level 8.
So
Check it
awakening,
out.
yeah, awakening level 8. Let's go look at Christmas Nemone for her awakenings.
Because
So
you flirtate.
I might as well do it. So for balance and for attack, it's CA damage 15%.
Mm-hmm.
For defense, was it 10% defense or was it 15% defense?
I'll have to look it up.
So, and then for multi attack, this is the important one. Multi attack actually gets triple attack now when you get to awakening level 8. That is a very important thing that we were talking about for previous awakenings, where we're just like, why would you go to multi attack awakening?
All right, so defense gets 15%
15%.
defense,
That is
and
huge.
multi attack gets 3% triple attack.
Yeah. So this is where we're actually starting to get the differentiation. This is where we're actually seeing, like, this is a big reason to go defense. 20% defense passively is nothing to sneeze at.
That's pretty big.
15% CA damage. We've talked about how underrated CA damage is as a stat, and this is, we went from 10% to 25%. This is a 250% increase of the CA damage that we got on attack
Once
before.
again, going back to high level raids where the defense modifier of the boss is much higher.
Dude,
It's pretty nice.
the first time that I did Belial, and I'm like, yeah, let's go water CA, and then
Your
it's like
RC didn't do nothing.
my water CA did nothing. I'm like, oh, I'm eating this omen now. I feel really sad.
I remember watching that stream.
It was, that one was a tough one. That was a tough realization. But yeah, I like that these exist, that they're starting to differentiate more. The thing that I don't like, it's not necessarily a thing that I don't like. It's just something that I personally was sad about was the part where, let's take a look. Let's find somebody who's Awakening 7 already. Lindworm scales.
Yeah, I'm hopping into those again.
It's 5 of them. Hosting
To be
them
fair,
gets you 5.
five is not a lot, at least.
It's not a lot, but still, it's
But
like
there's a lot
joining.
of characters.
It's joining 2 of them, and there's a lot of characters. So maybe I'll just use gems on this. Oh no, it costs 240. I'm
There's
just,
probably a reason for that.
yeah, I'm going back into the Lindworm mines, I
Yeah, just
guess.
going Lindward.
I was doing that for a while. I should actually host my Lindworms for today. Anyway, yeah, um, we'll see where this goes from here. But I do like that they're finally differentiating the, and by finally, I mean this is the first update after the differentiation of awakening types. All right, we made it. We made it through chapter 148, DJ.
Woohoo!
Wait, yeah, we'll talk about the other stuff for summer stream later. Let me just do this as a preview of next time. Hold on. Let's go to home screen settings.
Are you in
Uh,
Royal?
who who leaves? I guess Tsubasa leaves.
I'm like, you're not getting rid of Greya.
I'm not getting rid of Greya. Let's go over to where's F? Too far. There we go. Yes. Our Vicky stays. Cooking Lyria stays. Comfy Lyria stays. There we go. That's how I'm going to leave us for Granblue Radio number 238.5. Thank you for joining me, DJ.
Yeah, I love Pharaoh.
You got
We'll talk about that stat later. By the way,
you got powered up so much by that freaking summer stream. There's so
we'll
many.
talk about it Thursday.
There were so many releases that are just DJ core.
We'll talk about it on Thursday, man.
For now, let's give you your evening back. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for listening. But wow, wow, wow.
All right, later, folks.
Later, folks.